Good morning, soldier. I am first at you. I'm listening to you as I'm chopping vegetables, making a chicken and veg summer stew. Sounds lush. Hey, dear. Good morning, soldier. Good morning, everybody joining. My eyes have just opened. Get comfortable on the chair. I fell back asleep. And I woke up and it's 9:01 and I'm like, oh my God, I best get live. Oh. One of them. So, morning, Nanny Lane. Crap, I've been staring at a splash screen for ages. Oh, soldier. Morning, Mick. Not worse than a splash screen, especially when you can't see. Oh dear, give me a minute to come round. I've just gone live straight away. I've not even had a coffee yet. John's upstairs, so I can't have a coffee. I don't even know where I am. I think I've been snoring again, though. My throat's very slow. No, you've not missed anything, soldier. I've only just this second started. So what day are we on? Friday, Thursday. Are we on Thursday? We are on Thursday, aren't we? So good morning, first and foremost, to everybody joining us, and thank you for joining us. This is our good morning breakfast chit chat with moi. You're at home, you know. I know I'm at home. I mean, what am I supposed to be doing, Nanny Lane? And breathe. This is what it's like first thing in the morning when I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, where am I? What is this planet we're on? So last night's investigation was a bit quiet. We had a couple of things coming through. But yeah, apart from that, I think it was quite a quiet night. I think I was not disappointed. I mean, disappointed is the wrong word. Morning, Anne. John's in bed. Morning, Tony. I'll tell him good morning, and when I wake him up with my booming voice this morning. So we're a bit quiet last night. We're disappointed, but I think, because we caught that good evidence before, it were like, oh my God, I hope we catch it again. You get excited, and then it were a quiet night. So I'm not just disappointed in the night, because I think the night was good. Oh no worries, Nanny Lynn. I hope everything went well. But yeah, but we'll see. I mean, not sure what's happening tonight. I don't know whether John. I'm back. Oh my God, did I take myself off the live? I do apologize. Or did I end the live? Am I still live? Yes. So yeah, I don't know what's happening today. I don't know whether John's going to be going out live on his own. Me and Claire are saving ourselves for the big things that are coming up on Friday and Saturday night. We have emailed a certain location. There is security guards on site. We have got permission to go on. We've had to give our names and how many people's going to be joining us. But yeah, so Claire's got all the emails. All the emails are going to be going on to our members, so people can see that we've got permission to be there. Not that we need to prove it anyway, but you'll probably hear us speaking to one of the security guards. So yeah, that's coming up on Saturday night, which is absolutely fabulous. So that's going to be a brand new location to us. There is loads of history. We've not got permission to be inside the buildings, so we won't be going into the building, but we've asked for permission to be on the outside, just to be on the land. So that's going to be an interesting night on Saturday. Sunday night, good morning, Shirley. I disappear? I'm sorry, Nanny Lynn. I disappear and come back. It's because my finger slipped, and I thought I'd pressed end, and I hadn't. I don't know what I'd done. Sunday night we've got another special night. We'll give you a heads up. Sunday night's going to be not an all nighter as such, but it is going to be. It might be a live and then a break and then another live, and then on members and then live again on main, depending. I don't know how we're going to work it out. Bugger, I'm doing Supper 2 Friday. No, sorry, did I say Friday, Saturday? I meant Saturday, Sunday, Nanny Lynn. Saturday night we've wrote and got permission. Saturday, Sunday, yeah. So Saturday night, I said tonight we're not live, are we? Tonight we're not live because we've got Paul's workshop tonight. Tomorrow night, John might be out on his. I'm thinking it's Friday. Tomorrow night, John may be out on his own, depending because what we've got planned for Saturday, Sunday, is going to be tiring. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. So yes, so right up my street. I'm usually up all night. I know. The other thing that we're going to come to, and I know this, it's not going to please everybody, but it's a decision that me and John's had to make, just because we're splitting as views at the moment, and obviously we want people to join in and watch, but at the moment we're going on 2 platforms. We're not big enough to do 2 platforms, unfortunately. And doing Facebook and YouTube, we're just like splitting as views. It's not about views for us, guys, and you know it's not. But there's not enough conversations going off on Facebook or YouTube. So we're going to bring you all back into one. I love all nighters. We're going to bring it all back into one. So we're only going to be live streaming investigations live on Facebook. The good morning ones will be running on Facebook and YouTube like they do every morning. As Chit Chat Tuesdays will be run on Facebook and YouTube. But when it comes to an investigation, it is only going to be over on on Facebook at the moment. Because it's just silly because we're splitting the views. There's no conversations going off. Nobody. It's not interesting in chat for everybody to stay in one place, so in 2 different locations. So yeah, we're gonna pull it back and we're just gonna go back live on Facebook only for the investigations. So if anybody's got any questions, I'm gonna pop a post up anyway. If anybody's got any questions, just let me know. Morning, Claire, my lovely. We've got to, Nanny Lynn, because the views that we get affect how Facebook affects the algorithm of the social media platforms, and because we're getting split, so we're getting so many watching over on YouTube, and then so many watching on Facebook. The interaction that comes in that gets accounted for. The amount of views that you have, obviously that gets accounted for, and it's all part of algorithm. And at the minute Facebook isn't pushing us out because they want you to, we pay for adverts, but we're not paying for, we don't put a lot of money into adverts, and that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting more money to go into adverts, and they're wanting to advertise your page as well. And it's just like it's just stupid because they're not pushing you out and anything, but we're not getting the views in either for Facebook to push us out. So unfortunately, we've had to make that decision. So it is a shock, I know. But like I said, if we're doing Chit Chat Tuesday, it doesn't matter. But if we are on investigation, it's going to be just one platform. John was thinking that should we do like one night Facebook, one night YouTube, but again, it's still not going to be. It's not going to be the right thing for us to be doing. It's too much hassle doing it that way at the minute. And I'm not saying we're not going to go back to using YouTube. We are, but I think at the minute we need to have everybody in one place at the minute. If that makes sense to you guys. I hope it does, and I hope you understand. But like if you're doing anything else, it will be done onto both platforms. So yes, that's the update. That's the updated news for you this morning. What else we were going to say? I forgot what else I was supposed to be going to say to you. Yeah, it makes so much sense, Nanny to put it that way. Anyway, I've got on scales this morning, and at least I've lost something. I've lost a pound this week. So that's 13 pound in total in 3 weeks. So I'm really, really happy. It's water retention week this week, so I will be happy that next week I'm going to say I've got a bigger. I'm going to say about £5 off next week, just because this week I know that we're a small loss. We will be live No, I think Saturday's 9 while 12, isn't it? Sunday daytime, we may show you around the place in the daytime on Sunday. If there's depending on the amount of people that's there, but we'll try and show you around. It is Nanny Lynn, it is better than putting on. But I know this week it's a bad week. Thank you, Shirley, my lovely lady. So let's get on with one day in history. So let's find out what happened on this day in history. Do you know, I bet it's going to be a tongue twister because I've not had a coffee or anything. Right. Are we ready for this day in history? After 7 weeks of a grueling siege, when the knights broke into the city, they were in no mood for mercy. Today, in 1096, a Christian army took Jerusalem and massacred Muslims and Jewish men, women, and children. Described as the navel of the world by a contemporary, Jerusalem was prized as holy by all three monotheistic religions and was festooned with sites sacred to one of or all of them. The bloody teeth. The ferocity of the slaughter reflected the zealotry and the perpetrators. The Crusaders' army assaulted the walls with 2 enormous siege engines equipped with catapults. Do you know, this isn't going right, is it? The Crusaders' army assaulted the walls with 2 enormous siege engines equipped with catapults, bridges, and battering rams. The defenders responded with Greek fire. A combustible compound, lassos were used to pull the siege engines to the ground, and bales of burning hay were hurled at the Crusaders. They managed to set one engine on fire, but Flemish knights on the second managed to get into the city. Resistance collapsed, and by midday, the Crusaders were pouring into the city streets. The slaughter began. Massacres were not uncommon. Muslim forces had carried out many before, but the Crusaders appeared to have inflicted another level of barbarism, perhaps in an attempt to cleanse the city of paganism and establish Jerusalem as a city solely for those of the true faith. Fugitives on Temple Mounts were slaughtered. The blood ran from the ankles of the murderers. Many Muslims had their stomachs cut open, for it was rumoured that they would ingest their gold for safekeeping. Jerusalem's travels were far from over, but it is notable that a century later, when the Muslims recaptured it, there was no slaughter. While thousands were marched into slavery, those who could pay were able to ransom themselves, and they were escorted back to the Crusaders' held territory. But faith and affliction were deeply complex. They were denied entry to Christian-controlled Tyres and robbed and terrorized by fellow Crusaders outside Tripolis, if that's the word. The Crusaders were not a clear-out clash of 2 homogeneous antagonists, neatly defined by religion, but a completed, ever-shifting conflict in which personality, ambition, localism, and cash was important as faith. And that happened on this day in 1096. So yeah, not all the good, not everything that's in this book is good. But it's all part of history. Um, and that, I mean, it's heartbreaking to read. I mean, I'd not read that prior to me reading it before, so I do apologise if it's upset anybody. Um, but wow, a loss of life. I'm making sure tomorrow one's not as bad. Mm, slave trade. We'll see. Tomorrow one's a little bit of history about the slave trade. All right, love. I woke up at 31 minutes. I was live at 32. Yeah, it's still all right, that one. So yeah, I mean that's a shocking bit of history that's gone on there. Um, but you know what? This is what we were talking about yesterday as well. Um, that happened so many years ago, but even today, there's still signs and traits of that, and that's we're supposed to be learning and evolving, but to me, there's no learning, there's no evolving. Certain people do, but not everybody does do that. Morning, Claire. And it's such a shame. But there's so much hatred going off anyway, ain't they? It's just it's so sad. I mean, we were talking last night. We were watching something, and I forgot what it were, and it was about World War Two. And we got onto subject to World War One, and as forefathers or grandfathers or whatever you want to call them, dads, uncles, aunties, everybody that were involved, they fought for freedom of speech for us, and that's all seems to have got lost. Um, the dictatorship that's been told what we can and what we can't say. And it's not about saying things or doing things that are wrong, but it's just being able to say something without somebody saying that you're saying that to be a certain way, if that makes sense to you. But we're quite sad when we were talking about it last night, when we were talking about the history and how it just disappears. Yeah, it's a big thing. Boo, sorry, I'm late. Was on phone to. Oh, I hope everything's all right. But it's horrendous times. I mean, when you look back in history, you sort of like can see where a lot of the hate stems from, towards people, towards certain nations, and you start seeing it unfold when you start looking at the history, and it's that. I mean, it's how much do we can we or for any other country that's not targeted as such, target's a wrong word, that did something in the past that was not in our control. We couldn't have, there's nothing we could have done to change it because it happened not even in our lifetime, but yet people are still getting blamed for things that happened not in their lifetime. And I just think society is such a strange one, to be to get on with, isn't it? So what else have I got to tell you? I hope tonight we shall see a few of you joining us on Paul's live, just to get in touch with Paul to go live, and they'll send you details of how you pay, and it will also send you the Zoom link, which you'll need to log on tonight. It starts at 8 o'clock and it's for 2 hours. So we've got a 2 hour session. And I think it's going to be quite eye-opening. I think people are going to take so much away from it. Maybe even help other people. It's going to be pointing other people in the right direction. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I don't even know what I'm saying. This is what happens. We can't call it history. Now we have to call it memories. Sad, isn't it? Do you know, Shirley, why is it memories? It's history, you know, but even with kings, so do we have to call kings and queens? So when we're talking about King Henry, is he a memory or is he history? Do you know, it's, I mean, there's no wonder the younger children grow up with the mind thinking the way they do when they told silly things like from history to memories. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, what can you say? Do you know? There's nothing you can say, is it? You just have to laugh at it and just like, no, I'll continue to call it history, because to me that's what it is. It's history. It's happened. It's not a memory. It's not a memory for me. It's history for me because I don't remember it. Wasn't born for it. So yeah, it's all history, good or bad. Exactly, Nanny Lane. And to me, the history is just so much more, because obviously what I'm reading gives you a little snippet to what actually happened. Um, to actually go and read up about it afterwards, and find out for yourselves what happened and everything else. I think that's the interesting key. But yeah, for me, all history is good and bad. There's no other way. It was either good or it was bad, Nanny Lynn, isn't it? It's thinking a memory is something you witnessed and experienced. Exactly. And I have no to me that's nothing that I would have seen or witnessed. I think it's wrong. And now Jamaica is on about suing for slave trade, yet country wouldn't actually exist. See, but again, David, that's taking it to more on a political level. I respect, morning, Claire, I respect your views, but again, to me, that's more political view. It's not a subject that I'm going to get into a conversation with just because I know where a comment like that, and I know that you put that because I know you, David, I know how that comment's come in, but that comment could also lead to other people coming on, and it wouldn't be a debate, it would be a straight argument, if you get what I mean. So yeah, but I mean, for me, it's just silly. It's just the silly things to me. It's like calling from jiff to sif or sif to jiff, whichever way round. That's what I'll talk about on here, but nothing any deeper. Even though the history I've just read out is from the book and it was a history. If I was to write an autobiography, if I was to write an would I write about the good and not the bad? No, I'd write about everything because it happened and it's my mistake and experience made me who I am today. I can't erase it. Do you know what? No, you can't erase it, Claire. And like you said, you'd learn from your mistakes. Surely that's what we're supposed to do. So by discussing things that happened and looking at it as an outside perspective or with different eyesight, even different mindset. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, isn't it silly how some people celebrate the history and really embrace it, yet for the English, and probably some other countries out there as well that I'm not 100% sure on, we hide it. We're having to hide the history that's part of us, and I just think it's so sad when your history should be. I'm not saying you should agree with your history. I'm not saying you should be jumping for joy over your history because you shouldn't. But should we blame I don't know, another country, another continent for something that they did? Should they still be carrying that blame with them, even though their generation had nothing to do with it? They wasn't even born. Should they still be getting called for something that they did? It just leads you on to that. Will be just an ongoing situation. There's just no answers, and nobody can give us an answer. Um, Morning, John. Thank you for my coffee. He's just come in and brought me a nice cup of coffee to wake me up. But it's a bit late because I've gone live anyway when I'm not fully awake and I just ramble. So yeah, I've told them about just going live with Jamie. Um, yeah, and I think that's all I've got for you this morning. I think that's it. I think for those of you that are joining late and have missed, please watch the beginning because there is some changes that are being made to how we're live streaming, which platforms we're live streaming on. So please, please, please watch back from the beginning if you've only just joined us. So yes, so tonight, well, there's no live tonight. Tomorrow night, I will let you know. I may come on. I don't think it'll be today. Maybe tomorrow afternoon that I'll come on and I'll have a look at doing something, whether it's pendulum, whether it's cards. I'll have a look at think about what I can do. But I'll be live tomorrow afternoon doing something.
You told them that's what I run about last night.
What?
Which streaming on one platform, and I said I'd come on and have a word with him today.
Oh no, but yeah, if you watched us live last night, morning Eli, LJ. If you watched the live last night, John said he was going to come on and discuss something. That's what John was going to come on and discuss what I've already discussed about the platforms and which one we're going to be streaming from and everything else. So please pop back and just watch the beginning. I'm sorry this morning's been a bit rambled and a bit all over the place because I literally did. I opened my eyes at 9:31 and at 9:32 I was live. So I have just like sat up, gone live, and I'm now gonna go. And even through the glasses, my eyes look like sheep's fannies. So they normally look a bit better than that because they've normally opened and have been awake for at least half an hour. So anyway, I'm gonna let everybody go. No, it hasn't. It's been good. So yes, so it's my little morning rambles, isn't it? Really. So if anybody's got any questions about anything, either comment on the post, messages, exploring the afterlife. And yeah, everybody have a beautiful, glorious day. And we should embrace his history, don't you think? All right, let's see if anybody will leave comments for that on should we embrace the history? Should it be his memories? All you've got to put is don't going to put in a big spiel whether you believe it or not. Just put on that specific question: should we or shouldn't we? It's a yes or no answer. Yes, it should be memories, or yes, it should be history, and then we know the opposite one. So don't make it bigger than what it is. So yeah. So anyway, everybody have a great day, a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Stay safe, and John may be live later on this afternoon or at tea time, just to have a little chat with everybody and see how everybody is. So yeah, take care, my lovely. Mwah. Love you loads. Bye.